So,
Ready?
yes. Welcome to Pillow Talk. And today on episode 4, we're going to do a little bit of a piggyback of our last episode. So, if you didn't watch our last episode, definitely go watch that. So, today we're going to talk about something a little bit spicy. We're going to be talking about BDSM. Now, if you're interested in BDSM, interested in getting into BDSM, or just want to know what BDSM is and, join the kink community a little bit, definitely stay for the rest of the video. So, let's jump into the source real quickly. So, what is BDSM? What do you think BDSM is? Well, I think you know what BDSM is, but what is BDSM?
I actually don't know the actual word for the letters, but I know how it is, what it does. It's more geared towards like domination.
Yes. So BDSM. Okay, let me break it down. BDSM. The BD. It's kind of like categories. There's BD, and there's DS, and then there's SM.
Mm-hmm.
So BD is bondage and discipline. DS is dominance and submission, and a lot of people know that part of BDSM. Like that's like the go-to of BDSM. And then the SM is sadism and masochism. We're gonna get into all that.
So bondage, domination, sadism,
Sadism, masochism, and submission.
Okay, gotcha.
So BDSM is kind of like when you get into that, it's like role playing. And it's more like a control play, basically. Like power play. It's like you and your partner deciding that your relationship dynamic, and it's like a power play. With dominance and submission, it's like one person is a dom, which is like they're in charge, and the other person is a sub. And that person kind of gives the power, the control to the other person. Okay, so question, spicy. You automatically just give dom energy. So did you always, like before you knew what BDSM was, did you always feel like
that I'd be in that role?
Yes.
I guess, yeah. I like to be in control when I'm intimate. So I think that kind of like naturally fell into that role. But I like to explore the other elements of it, like bondage and actually all like sadism and masochism. I just want to see what that's about,
So you feel like you could be a switch?
I could probably be a switch. I can give up the control, just for experiences and all.
Me, I feel like I don't have like dom energy. Like I feel like I'm just naturally submissive. Like I've tried to be like dominant, and it just doesn't. It's just not my like.
It's not your thing.
So it's just naturally like sub. Definitely feel like getting into sadism, masochism is like down the avenue. But I'm like learning more about this stuff. So see like where that goes as far as like. And the crazy thing is like. A lot of people don't. They see BDSM as something that's like taboo, and that's like.
It's really.
When you first so when we first became like active sexually and all that stuff, and you heard about it, you see the videos and stuff. What was your first thoughts on BDSM like?
It's intense. It's very intense. It's what I thought sex was. It looked like it took it to like level 10, and I was trying to feel like the ignorance of that I had at the time was like, how do people want to do this? But as you get older, it's like, yo, that shit's kind of dope.
Okay, so the bondage part of BDSM includes restraining your partner. You can use ropes. People use lace, chains. That's for more like. How do I say, experienced couples, and I feel like bondage teaches you trust in that aspect.
For sure.
You know, because when you're tied up, it's like you're at the whim of another person, and you know, it's just kind of like allowing them to go. And I feel like I like that because it allows you to like go past your limit. Because sometimes you can be a one and done,
Right.
and you think that that's it.
Right.
But then when you're like, hold on, I can keep going, and you keep going, you're like, I didn't know that I could do that.
I think there's something powerful in being able to trust somebody to that extent and know that they're going to take you there. And you don't got to do it yourself. That shit is sexy. You know?
Because sometimes, as like just human nature in general, you're greedy to like get that first like instant gratification, and then it's like done because you're just like, okay, I'm tired, I don't want to continue. But it's like when someone else is doing it, it's like you have no choice, and
like,
that
you take the power from yourself and give it. It's like, oh shit.
And then there's discipline. That part of BDSM, some people extend to like personal lives where they have like a dom sub relationship, like not just in the bedroom, but they have like a dom sub relationship in their entire life. And the discipline part of it is if your sub does something that you don't like or upsets you, there are punishments.
Right.
And so whatever the punishment is that the dom decides, the sub is like, okay, cool. Like, and sometimes it's like you genuinely do things because as a sub, you want the punishment.
Yeah. There's some pleasure in it, right?
Yes. And
do you think you can live that kind of life?
I feel like low key, our relationship has been kind of like on that level, but I feel like I want it to be in a less
intense,
aggravated way. Like it's like more controlled, more like I like, you know, like we both know what the roles are, and this is it, and that way it's like, because let's be real, like that whole makeup sex type thing, that's exactly what it is. It's like you get into these arguments, you have mad, everybody's upset, and then it's like, okay, now you're like banging it out, and it's like, I'm taking it. So I feel like that, but I want it to be, I feel like I like that because it allows you to like, your everyday life where you're just like, you have to be in charge of everything, whether you're a mom, when you're at work and you're just in charge of everything, that part of your life, that control, you can relinquish that control to somebody else and just like relax. That's like true. You don't have, your brain can be turned off and you don't have to think too much about it, and that's why I like it.
I get that. That's sexy though.
Okay, dominance. And the thing is, I feel like the thing with being a dom, why I find it sexy, is you have to be a confident person.
For sure. You can't be dom and half-step in everything.
You can't be, and you have to like just be sure of yourself and I feel like that's why you fall into that category. You have to be sure of what you're doing at all times. Like you understand like the decisions that you're making, like
you know what comes with it.
You're like, you have to have your head on straight, and it's like people be like, oh, people want, like, you know, men always like, oh, you want a woman that's gonna submit to you, but it's like, you have to give me something to submit to.
That's a fact.
Can I trust that you're leading? Like, I can be like, okay, something happens, and I call, and I'm like, this is going on, and I'm all frantic and in my like whole feels, and you're just like, relax.
Because I've noticed people can sense it. Because I've had people tell me like, yo, you give off that energy, and I never really picked up on it myself that I was giving that off. So it's like, don't ever think somebody can't tell that you're not that person.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a dom, you're a dom. Yeah. It's not, it can be learned, but it's naturally, some people are just naturally dominant. Like,
right. I get that.
You're just, and even when you're subbing, that once you're a dom, that energy is still gonna come out, where it's just like,
it's still there, it's present. It's just, you can tell you're trying to suppress it.
Yeah. And if you're a sub, you're a sub. Like, I I can't suppress that.
Yeah.
It's just naturally like
But you live in it so well that everybody can see it, but it's sexy coming off of you.
and I'm just like
Bella notices it all the time. Yo, now she's all the way sub.
like I can't help it because it's just like when you're like mom, and sister, da da da, and you're just like in that part of my life, I feel like my personal life, I don't want to be in charge of nothing.
Right. You just want to push it to the side.
Yes, I just want to live.
Right, I get that.
Sadism, I feel like, is where people shy away from BDSM because a sadist is a person who inflicts consensual pain onto another person. And that's the word that we need to like hold on to.
Consent.
Like, listen, if you partake in this type of activity, please understand on the forefront of everything that you're doing.
You need consent at all for everything. Consent.
And consent can be given and taken away at any point in the situation. That's why you're supposed to have safe words.
Right. For sure, yeah, safe words. Unless y'all like this, you know, y'all know each other to that extent. Like, okay, I gotta back up. You know?
Safe words are important. What your boundaries are important. And like, you know, how far you're willing to go, state that with your person. And you, as a sub, you cannot go around letting everybody dom you.
That's a fact.
Because not everybody should have that type of control.
That's a fact.
Please don't go around letting everybody sub you.
You can't trust everybody you get into these things with.
Because like sometimes there are people out here that like they take subbing to the full extent of their control and not that you're still a person. So please, when you get into these activities, be mindful, one, of who you're engaging with. Like, learn the person. This is not something you should partake with somebody that you just met on like a week date. Like you're just start dating. No, this is for deep relationship couples. I feel like those types of practices, if you're not in the lifestyle is for couples. I feel like BDSM is for couples from just doing my research because it requires trust.
Yeah, for sure.
It requires communication.
Definitely do.
And just overall, like, and masochism, before we continue, masochism is a person who enjoys pain.
Oh, so it's like the receiver.
Yes, they're receiver of, so
The
sadism
receivers.
and masochism, they're like, the masochist is on hand.
Okay.
And, you know, people look at that part and they're like, oh, you're crazy. If you are like is in pain, you're crazy. If you like giving pain, you're crazy. And I must admit, we do have a few crazy folks out in the world that have like taken that practice
too far.
You know, we know Ted Bundy was a little off. A few of them peoples was a little off. They took their little vices. And that's when, you know, like, do not just meet somebody today and have them subbing and smacking you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's some other shit.
Because imagine being tied up and just things going left. No. I feel like this is for couples. If you're not in a relationship with somebody that you trust to the full extent of your abilities, do not partake in these types of activities. Do not say Kitty sent you. I didn't send you. I'm telling you. If you're a single person partaking in that, find like, I don't know, groups and conversations.
There's groups out there, you know. It's definitely groups you can find. What is it, Fat Life?
Yes.
Use Fat Life.
Find your people. Talk, chat, all that stuff. Assigning roles. Like we said, like I feel like being naturally, like you will know your role. In your relationship, you know your role. Like you know your dom.
Yeah.
I feel like when the time we met, it's just been like that. Like
I feel like you shouldn't try to force yourself into a role you're not comfortable doing. You know, just to please others. Like you gotta tell yo, I don't know how to do that. You know, I can't do that. And it should be understood.
So yeah, and I think people think that only men can be dom.
No.
And you'd be surprised. women can be dom too. So men, if your shorty is trying to let her, you might like it. I'm not a dommy girl, but I've seen some women who can be dom, and I'm telling you, like,
they give it.
If that's your kink,
they give it.
And women doms are called dominatrix or dommies.
Okay, so that's what dominatrix is.
Yes,
women?
yes.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So I feel like that is definitely just communicate with your partner. Like figure out like what you guys like comfortable with and stuff like that, and how to assign roles to each other. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the benefits of BDSM. So we know what BDSM is. We know bondage. We know submission. You know, definitely for me, like I feel like BDSM, when allowing it to like blossom the way it's supposed to, BDSM can definitely allow partners to connect together.
Okay.
Because giving that power to you allows me to trust that my best interest is always in the forefront of your mind. Like making sure she's good, making sure she's okay, but also
it makes the relationship stronger for sure. Because you're on the same page, you know, like, yo, this person likes this person does not like this, and they can be 100% relaxed.
Yes. It can boost self-esteem. So I feel like at one point I wasn't, well, not at one point. I feel like I haven't been thriving in that, in a sense of boosting your self-esteem, because you have to trust yourself first. And I feel like that's kind of been a lacking for me, like trusting that I'm like my decisions are solid sometimes. So it's like now I'm like trying to move forward and be like, he got it. You don't have to think too much. It's like if you say it's go. Sometimes you just feel like yes, but then it's like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't go like this? So I don't feel like this, so I don't look like this, and it's like I have to learn to trust your word, and like that part is like, but getting there. But it definitely can like boost your self-esteem, and knowing that your partner is enticed by you, is enthralled with you, and just like, damn, like I get off on this and you get off on this with me, and we get off on it together. Right. It can definitely help you explore your boundaries safely, because you learn that you like things that you didn't know you liked before.
Yeah. I learned I have a pain kink for certain things. I didn't know that before.
And you know what's crazy? Outside of like when things are happening, when it's outside, you're like, don't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the same outside. Like, yo, get the hell off me.
For instance, he likes being bitten, right? But if I bite him on a regular basis, it's not the same thing.
No, I get upset.
And it's like, you always think that that's not a real thing.
It's a real thing.
But when you're in, like, when you're in like Subspace, it's like, we have to have a whole different conversation about that.
You've been entering that recently a lot, so I want to know what's going on with that.
I feel like it's like a euphoria during that, like, it's like a high you get, but it's not drugs.
Okay.
It's just.
It seems like it takes a while to come out of
it. It does. It's like your body is like in total like everything, you feeling everything. The whole body just feels great. Like everything is just on 10. Like I don't even know how to explain it. But if you've ever been in Subspace, comment and share your experience. But it's just something that I feel like we definitely need to go in depth into and have a definite conversation.
One more question, man. Do you feel like the more you enter it, the easier it is for you to go back to it, like in future sessions?
To be honest with you, I don't feel like Subspace is something that you have control over.
It just happens.
It just happens when you're in that mood and that person is doing everything
Right.
just the way that you like, and it's like they're, because I feel like Subspace is created by you, but
Okay.
it's like, because
So
I,
you have to be led into it.
yes,
Okay. Gotcha.
so it's like, it's more like,
You can't find it on your own. Kind of thing.
yeah, like it happens,
Yeah.
and I feel like maybe if you like, I don't know, pinpoint when it's happening,
right.
you could like get me
Too.
like every time, but I feel like it's like, I feel like it can be addicting.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like the couple times that it's happened,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I've expected it and it didn't happen, but not that saying that it's not great.
No,
it's
but
just like I've like don't
you're looking for it.
yeah, but so it's like, and now I just don't think about it,
Yeah.
like don't
Right.
like be like, oh, I want that to happen, and it does happen randomly, and I just enjoy it when it
Right.
happens,
So
because
it's like
instead of just expecting it,
like dessert.
yeah, like instead of just expecting it,
Yeah.
you just like, yeah, it makes the experiences better, because it's like you're not,
Right. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that.
but definitely need to do an episode about that. And like we said, it provides self-discovery. Like I didn't know, I heard about Subspace, but I did not know that was something I would ever experience. So just realizing that can happen, I'm like,
The only time I caught on that you were in it was because we saw Bella have it. Remember when she caught it? It was right there, like, what was that? And then you did. I was like, oh shit.
and I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's happened like early in our relationship a couple times, and didn't know what it was. You just think like, oh, maybe I drank too much. It's just, you know, like you just like,
Right. Something's going on.
yeah, like, but now it's like, you know what it is.
Right.
It's like, oh.
That's that.
And to be fair, I feel like that is tricky too, because you can get addicted to the person
Right. 'Cause
that's
they
initiating
get
those
you
types of
there.
feelings.
And it might not be a good person.
So
So,
yeah, so sometimes it'd be good,
Right.
and you just be like, hold on.
Can you just
Now
do
you're
this?
addicted to this
Yeah.
person. You want this person. It's like,
I gotta put up with you just so I can get this.
yeah, like, so it's like,
Damn.
you be careful out there.
Right.
Y'all might be doing stuff and doing stuff, and now you're stuck with this person. You don't know why.
Right.
And it deepens intimacy. I feel like we've been together really long, a couple years, a long time. It's like 10 years.
It's a decade.
Damn. And it's gotten better. Like,
Right.
experiences have gotten better, and you know, just getting into like the things that we like, the things that we want to practice has gotten better. And I feel like BDSM has definitely increased our pleasure, intimacy, and it's kind of like you look forward to it. It's not like a drain with people, because I know couples get into relationships a long time and it's like sex is like a
house, like a chore.
like a laundry. It's like doing laundry.
I'm like, fuck this person. That's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, like let's just do this so we can go to
Right,
sleep.
Right. You never want that.
And it's like, no, it's not laundry.
Right. This is us being together.
Yeah, I'm glad that it doesn't feel like laundry,
Right.
because nobody likes doing laundry. So if it's starting to feel like laundry, y'all need to switch it up.
Right.
We're not doing laundry. Okay, and now we're going to talk about how to get into BDSM. First, please educate yourself on what BDSM is. There are sites, there are communities, there are, you know, people, but definitely there are books you can read. I must probably link some, because I found some. There are books you can read to like educate yourself on what BDSM is before you jump into something like that.
Don't
because
rush into the situation.
rushing into something that you don't know about is never good.
Never.
It's like trying to drive a car and you don't.
You might have a negative, experience, and now your whole perception of it is fucked up.
Yes. So like, just read. Do a lot of reading. Do a lot of research, and like educate yourself. And if you're trying to do this with your partner, have open dialogue. Like, be able to be on the receiving end of the conversation as well, and don't make it one-sided.
Right.
Because the same way you, like we said in the last video, same way you have needs, your partner has needs too. And in order for both people to be happy, everybody's needs need to be met.
For sure.
So talk about whatever you're comfortable with. Talk about what you want to do and meet each other halfway.
Right.
Invest in good equipment. Now, buy the toys, but make sure that you're buying like good quality stuff. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, don't go the cheap route. Invest in that shit.
Like, look it up. Read the reviews. Buy the toys. Good toys. Good quality toys. I can't link stuff in there.
Right.
YouTube might send us home. But invest in good equipment.
Right.
Because it makes the experience just better. Like, we've had so many, like, toys and stuff. Definitely. I'm like, and people think this toys like make you not want your partner or something, and I'm like, that is not true.
You gotta get out of that mindset.
I feel like if anything, it's like it's an enhancement. Like, you get to see this person enjoy themselves, and then you can jump in, and it's like cool, like enjoy yourself. And the thing is, being tied up in
somebody.
Okay, just invest in some good stuff, like quality stuff. That way, it's like safe, and there are stuff for BDSM that will help enhance the experience a little more. Some good toys make for good stuff. Prioritize your safety. You have to prioritize your safety. You cannot only expect this person to like prioritize your safety. You make sure you're safe for it. One, make sure you can trust this person. If you can't trust this person with your life, you shouldn't be trusting them with tying you up.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And beating on you. You shouldn't be trusting them with your parts.
For real.
So make sure you can trust this person with your life first before you just give away that type of and use your boundaries. Red means I need you to stop. Yellow, I need you to slow down. Green, you can keep going. Like, but I feel like if you know your partner, you're gonna know when. You're gonna know when.
Too much,
yeah, you know when. You know, if you can read facial expressions and body language, you know when it's too much. But definitely prioritize your safety. Next is go at your own pace. Take your time. This is not a race. You have your whole life to experience what you need to experience. You don't have to feel like you have to get something every single time. It's like, just go at your own pace, take your time, understand your body, and listen to your body.
Right.
If it's hurting and it's not a pleasurable hurt that you're enjoying, stop.
Say something.
Please.
It's okay to stop.
It's okay. And seek out people who think the way you think, because not everybody agrees with BDSM. Not everybody thinks that this is okay. Some people frown upon it. Some people think that it's deviant behavior. Some people think that this is not something you should partake. They think it's wrong, think it's evil, whatever. If your partner thinks that this is wrong and it's something that you really want to try, you guys should have a conversation first before you decide to leave your relationship or whatever. I'm not sending nobody to go break up with nobody. But, be open to try new things. And the last thing, aftercare is important.
It is.
Aftercare is important. And aftercare might look different to some people.
So explain what aftercare is for,
Aftercare is...
What is aftercare?
Is just taking care of whatever your partner's needs are after you guys had your experience. Whether it be, cuddling, whether it be having conversation, whether it be getting cleaned up and sitting down and watching a movie, whether they just need you to hold their hand.
Right.
For me, aftercare is just us talking. Not necessarily about what we just did, but just talking.
Meeting people.
yeah, just being there and having conversation, and we do that all the time. And I don't feel like it's planned, but I just like it's just
that's just part of what we do.
it just feels like there's a connection, because you know when you just after sex you just get up and everybody's going about their business,
Right.
and I'm just like, maybe that's what people do when they're just like knocking and going about their business. And then I feel like aftercare is where you know what this relationship is.
Yeah.
If it's just a fling thing, y'all shouldn't be doing BDSM with flings.
Right.
But if it's just a fling thing,
They don't give a fuck. They out.
and the person's just like, all right, cool them out. Remember, you just put your body through like up and down hormones and feelings, and dopamines is when, for example, when you go to Subspace, your dopamine levels are like up here. It's like you just snorted crack real fast. So you're gonna come down.
Yeah.
And you kind of need somebody to like level you out.
So I know like you like want me to hold your hand after.
I just wanna like feel grounded. That's what that is. Like it's almost like I feel like I feel like I'm floating away. So when it's like hold my hand, it's like keep me here, keep me here in this space. Like keep me here in this space. Like I know, like I'm here. Like this is happening, but I'm here. So that's what that is for me. It's like
I get that.
like it's like, you know, just keeping me grounded in a couple minutes. Oop, the food's here.
Okay.
So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our page. That's it for Pillow Talk. Have a nice day.